What's up, y'all? I'm gonna make sure that this is going through right. So I'm gonna get right into this because I don't feel like being um I don't feel like being on here long. All right, let me make sure I can hear myself. Okay, I can hear myself. All right, you guys see the title. Um, y'all see the title. Hold on a second. Sorry. Is anybody gonna come on and hang out? No. Hey, all right. What's up, Sarah? Hey, Broken Traditions. She's like, I caught her live. Yeah, what's up? Wait a minute. How come? Okay, there we go. They're showing up. All right, bet. Cool. This is great. We're in. All right. At least I got a couple of people. I also invited some other people to listen, but I don't know if they're gonna come through and listen. If I look a little dark, it's because what's up? Red sings the blues. What? Let me find out this is the right time for me to go live. Everybody comes. So I don't know if they're gonna be able to listen. I don't know because people get busy or whatever, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it. Today the very tough discussions. We're having a tough discussion today. We're going to tackle the uncomfortable. Hey Matt, what Matt? Hey Matt, you sent me some. It is so crazy. I literally was telling somebody about you yesterday, and then you sent me something while I was at work. So I'm going to check it out. I am going to check it out. Thank you. So yes, so exciting. So yeah, so we're gonna have the tough discussions because a lot's been going on and in the social structure, okay? And of course we're gonna discuss race. Race is an issue. My mic is acting up a bit. I'm telling you, this mic, I think it's something. I mean, it sounds good for me. Maybe it's me like not being like my mouth isn't. Oof, I hate this phone. Maybe my mouth isn't on it. I think it's because my mouth wasn't on it or something. Somebody tell me, please, am I sounding right? I feel like I'm sounding right. I don't know. All right. So over the weekend, we saw this footage. It was footage about stuff that happened in Chicago. Thank you. It's fine if I don't touch it. Okay. I need a new mic anyway. So I don't have a mixer that sings the blues. I just had the mic connected to the computer. Like, you know what I mean? But like, give me some advice. My birthday's coming up. If anybody wants to send me anything, no. Okay. Over the weekend, we saw stuff happening in Chicago, like what people are calling riots. That wasn't a riot. It was just a bunch of kids outside, right? And I want to talk about it because there's narratives going around and there's inconvenient truths that people don't want to say. So it's up to me to say it because the channel we talk about, we say, we're making the inconvenient truth great again. So we're going to go to Twitter. Plus, I have some people I need to reply to with some of the stuff they were talking about when it comes to oppression and everything. And so we're going to go straight to Twitter. Before we get there, though, yeah, all right. I mean, you could buy me that. He's like, no, you stop. Yeah, I do need to get a Shure eventually, but I like this little mic. But lately, I feel like it has been acting up when I touch it. So all right, a fiery but peaceful youngsters. I know. So let's just go ahead and present. And I didn't really want to put this on my channel because it's like, it wants to really look at this stuff, but you kind of have to because it's starting to get ridiculous out here. Um, So bear with me for a moment because I can't see the screen yet. Before actually I get into that, I want to segue to that. Hold on, let me get a drink. Hold on. Sorry. I'm gonna start off with this foolishness first. This is disgusting. Okay, so now what we are looking at here, like these people, they're taking it way too far because I was at work and I was playing on my phone and I looked again and then I'm scrolling. I'm like, wait, why does it look like he's carrying a baby's casket just willy nilly through the street, like through the hall of whatever legislative building that they're in? And he is, and this is all to make the point of gun violence. He brought a prop of a child's coffin to the house. You know what I'm saying? To talk about gun violence. And Robbie Starbuck said Justin Jones had the gall to try to use a child-sized coffin as a prop in a TN legislature today. The man there trying to coerce into letting him bring it on the floor is the same sergeant at arms that Justin ignored during his last vile stunt. Yeah, so okay, so the guy's telling him like, no, you can't bring that in. Like, you can't bring that in. Like, why are y'all bringing this in? What is the point of this? Like, this is crazy. Like, and it's these theatrics, and of course there's always a reverend, you know what I mean? there's always a reverend, and this is why I said, what's up, what is up, Morgan, what's going on? This is why I said, I'm like, Christianity is a joke to people. It is an absolute joke, like, because you got a reverend walking with him with this is making a mockery of death. What are you trying to say? Oh, because kids die from gun violence? Yes, they do, in the hood, but you guys don't want to talk about that because it's going along with the plan. You know, it's going along with the plan, which segues me into the whole conversation about Chicago. Today, you guys are going to hear my 100% like who I am, okay? Because I'm tired of pretending that we should be a certain way and that's why it's wrong, and then not paying attention to what's going on. All right. So when people say gun violence is the number one reason kids are dying, yeah, but you have laws actually to stop calling it gun violence. Call it murders, because it puts the accountability on the person. Okay, when you say it's gun violence, you put the accountability on a gun. If you say murderers are killing kids, then they put the accountability on the person. Okay, but they use these deaths for their own particular purposes. You know, I'm almost afraid of this mic. Like I seriously. Yeah, like, and it's a reverend from the church. Like, you know, God would smite you for this. Like, you know, you would. So, but it brings me to this situation here that happened in Chicago. Chicago situation. When I first saw this, and I have to actually, I'm gonna go to my profile first to talk about it. Because I want you to see it without the explanation first for it. So, all right, and then this is Matt Walsh's tweet. Matt Walsh said, white woman viciously attacked by a group of black teens. You absolutely never see videos like this with the other races reversed. Never doesn't exist. At some point, we need to discuss why this kind of violence literally always goes one way. So when you watch a video, and I don't want to, but here, I'm gonna take the thing off, like. So when you watch a video, so when I first saw the video, and I'm gonna stop right there, I was like, oh my God. I thought the same thing. I was like, oh my God. I was like, why did they just attack that lady like that? I thought the same thing. And then I saw somebody comment and they were like, no, she was trying to protect somebody. And so when I looked, I was like, oh, she was trying to protect, they were after the boy. So I thought that these group of kids knew that boy that they went to attack, and she got in the way. Now, and I said, believe me, this is not the best argument, but they were after the kid. She was trying to protect who looks like them. I thought the same thing when I first saw this video, which goes to my point. What is going on with these black kids? They are racing each other. This video is terrible to look at, and I pray this woman is okay. I will help you out with this, Matt. White people, please stay the hell out the way when you see these kind of blacks, because I know I sure do. This is crazy. Yes, that's the inconvenient truth. Hell yeah, I crossed the street. But then the explanation came through. And so here's the explanation that I'm going to tell you why this is even worse to me. Hold on.
I was able to speak to the couple that were at the center of that now viral attack on the streets of Chicago over the weekend. They described what happened in their own words. Listen.
Well, I just recently saw the video, but we were just downtown in Chicago trying to shop, trying to get some food. And we were walking down the street, and there was a really big group of guys, a really big group of people.
Girls.
Yeah, guys and girls. And, DJ had my hand, and he was trying to lead me through the crowd of people. And they pushed him, they pushed me, And as soon as they pushed me, I told DJ, I said, hey, you know, they just shoved me. And he asked them, he was like, yo, don't shove her. Who shoved her? And as soon as he said that, everything went crazy. You know, they said they're going to kill us. They turned around and, you know, started fighting, you know.
So
I
sorry
got pushed down to the ground, and yeah, I got pushed down to the ground, and the whole group of people went to DJ, not me. Like, I have a lot less injuries than he does because I was more of a bystander than anything, but everyone went for him, and it ended up in the middle of the street. They were jumping him in the middle of the street. It got pretty bad.
I'm just so sorry to hear that. DJ, what were the extent of your injuries after all this, you and Ashley's injuries?
As you can see, I don't know if you can see or not, I have a black eye. My face is messed up. Shoulder is pretty up too. I'm pretty sure it's out of place or something. My back, sore. My nose, I don't know what's wrong with my nose. It's swollen. I don't know what's going on with it, but get it checked out soon.
Okay, so all right, we're gonna stop there for a moment because they go on to talk about their, you know, where they're hurting, where they are hurting, and how some bystanders came, gave them shoes and stuff, and then took them to the hospital. Okay, now the first thing that happened was they started shoving them. They shoved her too. I'm gonna tell you why this time it was about race had something to do with it. Okay. They looked at this couple, they saw she was white and they saw he was black, but not full black or whatever. So they thought they were weak. You know what I mean? And they targeted them for that reason. That is a reason. That's when it does become a race thing. I don't believe, of course, that they were looking for white people to beat up that night. No. But it doesn't matter. Okay. I'm going to tell you why it doesn't matter. People now are calling Matt Walsh racist for saying that they attacked a white girl. And I'm like, why is he automatically racist for seeing the same thing I saw? And yes, jumping to conclusions because we would do the same thing too. We would. And this is the part that gets on my nerves. It's like people get mad at somebody for reacting the same way how we would react. We would. If you wouldn't react like that, that's cool. But we would though. If we saw a group of white kids go and beat up on a mixed couple, we would automatically think racism. Even me, who I'm like, really, my thinking is not about black and white. I don't think about race being a thing in every single thing that I do anymore. I used to think like that. But how can I be mad at somebody when this is what they saw? Like, I saw the same thing too for a few seconds, so they reacted. People call Matt Walsh racist because he called that black boy an animal that time, the one who beat up on that little girl. But I called him an animal too. So it's like, why is it racist when it comes out of? Because I certainly called him an animal. Because we do. That's how we talk. And I'm so tired of people eating around the edges of everything. It's like, first of all, and some people are like, oh yeah, see, he jumped to conclusions and he was wrong. This is what we do. Okay. And oh, is he going to apologize for what? Yes. You know why? Because why would they out there acting like that in the first place? Why would he apologize? And this is not some sort of behavior that is like foreign, you know, like, whoa, that's weird. It's a bunch of black kids outside doing something. What's going on? This happens everywhere. And so at this point now, you're going to have to provide your own not alls. I got that from Josh Slocum on the Disaffected podcast, and he's so right. The problem is people keep saying like, well, it's not all black people. Listen, you know, I know that because nobody I hang out with would ever act like that. They would never act like that, right? But I don't have to think that every time I see a group acting the way these kids were acting because I don't have time to be like, well, I wouldn't do it. It doesn't change the fact that it's happening. And that's the part that's frustrating. They thought the couple looked weak. It took about 10 of them. Yes, but they think like it's like this thinking like oh, they probably nice. They don't got no, you know, no pew-pews and nothing. We could get them. And it's savage business. And believe me, I'm not trying to humanize any of it. But I'm telling you what is happening and what's going on. You know, we have to stop paying attention. Like people are saying things, like, oh, people try to make the crime thing, about black people, but it's not all black people. It doesn't matter. Like, you know why it doesn't matter? Because perception is reality, and the reality is actually fitting into the perception at this point, right? I work at a job now. Of course, it's cities, right? It's cities that's listen, and I'm just keeping it all the way funky today. I'm not gonna be on here too long. 'Cause I had a headache and everything, but I'm venting because I'm tired. I am so tired of everything being said, but not what needs to be said. Here's what needs to be said. So, okay, we see the stuff is happening on the it's happening on the news or whatever, or excuse me, out there in Chicago, and there's way more footage. A bunch of kids just hold on, sorry y'all, I need to take a little sip. Just way more so all right, so yeah, there was way more kids out there in Chicago, way more. And I heard on Saturday there was more coming, and yeah, it's set up by design, some of it, but so what? Why are your kids out there? Why? So I work in a jail, okay, and look, it's busy in that jail with intake. And so what I do in the jail, I take their medical records, like find out if they have any kind of like hypertension, diabetes, asthma, if they on some sort of medication, blah, 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 because they're supposed to continue to get their medication while they're in jail, right? Okay. Everybody wants to try to not, everybody wants to eat around the edges of something, but listen, 90% of my admissions are young black kids. They are. That doesn't make me happy to say at all. It does not make me happy that 90% of them are young black kids. It doesn't. It's actually heartbreaking because it's like, what is going on? But at the same time, they have to be arrested. If they're doing something wrong, they have to be arrested. And in this city, what I know is the DAs don't prosecute anybody. They drop the case down as low as possible, and then they give the kid like 3 years or something. That's a joke to these kids because they don't get it. They don't understand what they're really giving up yet because they're so young. Okay, so when the question is asked, right, what is it that's causing this problem? So it brings me to the weekend. Vivek I don't know the man's name, Ramaswamy. He's a Republican candidate for president, and he made some speech and he was talking about, I'm sure, a few things, and then he said, that BLM was speaking against nuclear families, but kids need families, this, that, and the third. And then he captioned his speech saying, 70% of the black kids are born, without fathers, and we need to find out, like, basically, like, why is this happening? That type of thing. People need to have families. Oh my God. You would have thought he said to kill the black kids. Okay. You would have thought he said that, because I see this girl, hold on, and I'm going to pull her up on Twitter. I'm just going, like, it's just tired. The eating around the edges, like, it's so sick and tired of it. Just, I am. And I speak how I speak, and I speak reality. And it's like, if I'm not, look, not everybody's going to like what I'm saying, but I'm just speaking what's true. I'm speaking what is being seen. I'm speaking what's happening, or just even the condition of the human mind. I know what should happen, but that doesn't mean it happens. This girl, because I was going, here she go. Sonny Johnson. And she says, first she said, I just see all of a sudden out of nowhere, she said, Vivek Ramaswamy is calling black kids bastards. I said, oh my God. I was like, he's calling them bastards? I said, that's crazy. Why would he say something like that? Like, this is insane. And so then when I go around and I look, no, he made the comment about how 70% of the kids are born without fathers. Okay. And so, I said, you know what? I'm getting tired of this. I really am. Like, so so then when she posted the video, she said, "Come talk to us. Keep our names out your mouth. We are not your stepping stone and punching bag." So then I said, wait a minute, what did he say that was so bad? Well, what's the reason that at least 90% of the intakes that I do in the prisons are black kids? Why are they racing themselves in the hood? This is the type of thinking that lets me know things won't change for black folk. Yes, because not only are they getting arrested, guess what? They are killing each other. When I pulled up the gun memorial last year, 95% of the people on the gun memorial were black. And whose hands killed them? I know it was not a white person, right? Rest in peace to everybody on that gun memorial. But they were black kids, black with little, I call them kids, I'm 40, you know? And I got to keep hearing everything else but what we should really be talking about. You keep our names up, come talk to us, keep our names out your mouth. What? No, now it's starting to step into the rest of society. Philadelphia had to get rid of Wawa. Wawa can't stay in the city. Walgreens, CVS, Walmart is leaving other cities. Come on. So now society has to ask, well, what's going on? Because we can't even keep the businesses in the cities. So why are we mad at Vivek Ramaswamy for what he's saying is true? It's tired. It is tired. And you know, so then we need to have people need to come talk to it. Listen, I've always said that Republicans need to do grassroots. They need to do grassroots campaigning, coming down and talking to folk. But a lot of people are not going to come, though. I know that. They're not going to come. It should still be done. You know how I know? Because I tried. I did try, and I'll keep trying. But they're not going to come. But they still should come down. But after that, that's it. That's it. The fact is, there's laws here that are not being put into place, that they're not following their laws of prosecution. So when I say, and so when people want to talk about everything else, we need to find out, what's going on. Like we need to find out what's going on. And then this guy tells you that they don't have fathers. You get mad at him because he shouldn't be talking about it, but then he should be talking about it, right? And everybody wants to go around like, well, how do we fix this? And listen, let me tell you something. Clean the streets first, and then we could talk about fixing. Okay, you need to clean the streets. Stop taking bodies off. Oh, we don't want to, give up the rest of his life. He's 15. He's 15. We don't want him to be in jail forever. Yeah, but he has 8 bodies on him. Yes, that's real. That's a real example. The juvenile detention center here in Philadelphia is overcrowded, and a lot of them are murderers. And they're getting younger and younger because there's no accountability. There's no accountability. What, 3 years for 5 people? What? They gave you criminal justice reform, and they come back out and they terrorize your neighborhood. You know who I'm speaking for? I say this all the time. I'm speaking for the grandmom who says to me, I need to hurry up and get in the house because it's about to get dark. I can't sit out on my front porch and have lemonade or nothing. I'm scared. I don't want nothing to happen to me. That's real. That's real. People live to be 70, 80 years old. They can't have lemonade on their front porch because they might get ended with a lead injector. But I'm supposed to be mad at Vivek for saying whatever. They don't come and talk to us. They got something to say. I don't know. They say he went to a church. They said, well, that's not enough. Right? But it's spilling into the rest of society. So miss me because I see them. And then guess what? When they come into the jail, guess what? Man, hold on. When they come into the jail, you see how cops aren't getting involved no more? And they shouldn't. They shouldn't. Everything they do, I don't know how anybody's a cop today. When they come into the jail, the COs are told, you can't do anything to them. You barely can use the pepper spray that we give you, or else you'll get fired. So the COs have backed off too. So they're not learning anything in the jail. Know what else they get in the jail? They get Nintendo. They get dogs. They got a dog program. You had to be on the phone with the dogs. I mean, like, yeah, what's up? Yeah, I mean, boo, with the dogs, right? They get movie night. What? What? Oh, I guess we marched for that, right? Criminality is not a black thing, but black people defend it. They do. They do. We need criminal justice reform because the cops keep bothering us. They keep bothering us because our cars aren't registered. If your car's not registered, you gave him the ammunition to bother you. Okay? That's just it. And that's not me being hypocritical because it's happened to me before. But what could I do? It was the law. It was broken, right? And I'm not trying to go on a tangent, but I kind of am because all of this, like, well, the crime isn't just a black thing. Yeah, 13% of the population, and yeah, maybe only 5% of that 13 is is committing the crime. I believe that, but perception is reality. They see it is constantly these young kids, and that's because guess what? The dads ain't in the house. They're not. They're not in the house because when you see the mom, I remember when these 5 kids in Philadelphia, it was like an 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 13-year-old, killed the man with their bare hands in a cone. Killed the man because he said to them, y'all too young to be beating outside like that. Oh, they destroyed him. They ended him. Their hands, they ended. What's going on, right? And then when the little girl, she was part of it. Her mother goes on the news and she says, my daughter, she's been through a lot. She's really not like this. Her dad isn't here and this, that, and the third. And, just please, have mercy on her. No, your daughter's killed somebody with her bare hands. You wouldn't catch me on the news. I would be crying like, where did I go wrong? What happened? But I would not be on the news begging for mercy. I'd have to tell my daughter, like, damn, I tried to give you all I could, but you went out here killing people with your bare hands. So, you know what I mean? They got you now. And to be honest, I'm not sure that you can stay in this house with me anyway. Who are you? Okay. I guess I'm too much like my dad. I don't know. But it is the reality. The constant excuses. Here's another one. Let me just look real quick. Yeah. Oh, it's a salty buddy rags. I remember a time when if your cousin went to jail, it was a shame. Like nobody talked about it. I know now they got their prison pick in the living room. You see what I'm saying with the prison pool? They got phones. They have talent shows at the prison. Talent shows. That's what your tax dollars are paying for. It's a good time. And we've ran off most of the good cops. Yes, that's a fact. Because I know if I was a good cop, I would not still be involved. Like, oh no, y'all are not gonna have me here, going to jail because y'all kids is bad. Yeah. And I know black people in this city was like, get your kids. Democrats have them. They do. They definitely do. Too many baby daddies not enough, right? And even if like the families aren't together, I know people who have had children together and they weren't together, but they were parents. But this new generation, it's just like they're just getting people pregnant and just keeping it moving. Like come on. And that's the other thing. This new generation is not who we were when we were teenagers. That's where people get things mixed up. These kids don't call themselves gangsters anymore. They call themselves demons. I know. They said I'm a demon. I ain't no thug. I'm a demon. What? And when they have the bodies on them already, they got to go. They got to get out of society. But we have to get them out of society in order for them to thank you, Shaloy. Thank you. We have to get them out of society in order for them to not corrupt the other little kids. This is why I speak the way I do. My harshness is out of compassion. It is. I speak this way because it's like when you have all these jacked up, unfortunately now 15 and 16-year-olds, they're getting to the 10 and 11-year-olds. Yes, the 10 and 11-year-olds. I definitely, so like I'm still in a part of Philadelphia, believe it or not, that is good. It is good. In the name of God, thank you. But I got to get out of here because after a while, it's just going to keep, you know what I mean? It's going to spread. Not only that, I'm not ready to end the 8-year-old that's ready to end me. It's going to happen. I told you the 8-year-old, he ended somebody with his bare hands. They were beating him with a cone. They're getting younger and younger. 15-year-old got 8 bodies. This is normal. But they're erasing each other. And like Papa Chula said, Democrats have them right where they want them because, yes, if you want to tell me that there's systemic racism, so let's talk about the fact of all of this criminal justice reform being being, fair on criminals. You know what the Democrat says, the progressive, they say, so when your child gets arrested, we won't be too hard. That's literally how they talk to these black folks. They yeah, Jesus, thank you, God, Jesus, yeah. What? Literally, what? No, I don't think black is criminal at all. No. I don't think all black people love riots. I don't need to tell people not all black people are like this. I provide my own not alls. Shout out again to Josh Slocum. I I provide my own not alls. I'm not gonna live like this because I feel the same way about them the way how the ones watching do. Yes, because they're destroying society for the ones that are good. Because it is a reality that when you see a pattern from a group of people, no matter if it's 10 of the same group of people doing it, when you constantly see the same pattern, you're going to look at them a certain way. What do you want people to do? Not have a brain? That's what they're going to do. They're not going to see the next one and be like, oh, but he's good. They're not. I'm not. Until I get to know you, maybe. But if I see 50 of them, I'm not going around them. If I see 50 of them with suits on, you know what I mean, doing something good, preaching something, that's different. But that's not what we're seeing, right? And then people get mad at the natural reaction. It's frustrating. And what's even more frustrating is then you hear stuff like this. It's just nothing but excuses and eating around.
Loot because that's how they can eat?
So they asking about why they looting so they could eat. They just was outside. Be clear. These kids had no business breaking into anything. They were just outside. We going outside today.
The answer is, how do we make sure? The question is, how do we make sure that people can eat? Look, no one is going to condone, behavior that quite frankly speaks to a level of desperation.
So you're not condoning looting.
I'm saying that people are acting out of desperation. We don't want a society that is acting out of desperation, but you have to pay attention to the cries that people have.
So you're not condoning looting.
There's no way to embrace that. What I'm saying is you can't condone the looting that corporations continue to do every single day when they take tax dollars from black, brown, white folks all over the city of Chicago so that they can turn a profit.
I don't even know what that meant. It's called it's called a capitalist system. It's called capitalism. I don't know what's the problem here. So now capitalism is the problem, not the kids who stealing out the stores, right? Not them. And they're not hungry, okay? They're not. They better not be hungry because America has too many people on welfare for them to be hungry. So nobody should be hungry in this country because I know my tax dollars is paying for some welfare. So what's going on? Why are they hungry? They're not hungry. These kids out here are breaking into stuff and they got Gucci belts on too. That sounds like bad English. They got Gucci belts on too. So don't tell me that they're hungry. They're not hungry. That's a lie. Okay, that's number one. We need to disconnect from the black race as black people. Yeah, I know how that sounds. Pull yourself out of it for a second. Give yourself to God and then come back into it. Then you can look at things with a clear mind and clear 2020 vision. Yes, I know because I had to do it. And this is why I go off so much about it, because it's like we are erasing us for the name of black power or black oppression or, you know what I mean, or black hunger or whatever. This man refuses to condemn the looting because they're black kids that he saw. And so he doesn't want to be a sellout. Yes, Papa Chula, American. Yes, we are all American. This is getting dangerous. So there's no point when there's no excuses given. It's tired. It's tired. You cannot get me to have any sympathy. I don't. Plus, I told you, I seen them inside. They entitled too. You know, I have a few of them. They tell me, once in a while I get some ones that, you know what I mean, they're a little shameful. I'm telling you, that's 1 out of 10. But most of them, I've had a couple tell me. I remember one told me, like, "Oh, you the nurse?" Yeah. I need my blood pressure medication. But first, I want to be like, you wasn't worried about that when you was out there doing whatever you did to get in here. Can y'all still hear me? Because I tapped the mic. Hold on. All right. Okay, you can. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm like, okay, when you get on the unit, you'll get your blood pressure. If I don't get my medicine, it's gonna be some problems. I mean, officer, shut the door. No, you don't own nothing here. No, no. But I can't even get too assertive, or else I can get the write up. What's going on? This is the systemic racism. We're gonna make jail fun. The blackies will come. Yes, yes. And then we'll make sure they don't stay too long so they could go back out there and kill each other. And people need to wake up to that. They do. But you don't have to. You need to. But you can do whatever you want. Whoever's watching this and feels some type of way about what I'm saying, you ain't got to worry about it. You ain't got to even talk trash about me, do whatever. Because I'm going to get out the way. I am. New York has robot dogs, for crying out loud. I'm not going to live like that. I'm not. No. So, I mean, it's just insane. Whether cops are required to help or not, again, I don't blame them now for falling back because, and when I say lazy cops, I mean like cops now who don't hold up the Constitution. Though we got a lot of those because the good cops got moved out with the jab, but they don't have to. They got told like don't be chased. Don't chase these kids and all that. Like it's just too much. It's just too much. But it's just too much. But I'm not gonna look. Vivek Ramaswamy is targeting Black Americans because Republican business model demands it. We are fighting a system, not an individual. Girl, shut up. Oh God. Oh God. We still marching. I'm sorry. Because that sounds like we're getting ready to march. It's like, what are you? We're fighting a system and not an individual? Huh? Girl, what are you talking about? Republican, to be honest, Black folk, they don't care, but they don't need your vote no more. You know what I mean? Democrats got enough immigrants in here to vote for them. Nobody's really checking for the Black vote like that no more. They're not. Okay? Be clear. They're not really. So I don't know. I mean, this is just ridiculous to try to round everybody up like this. And of course, the thread, they love a good, you know what I mean? And then she said, so he must, okay. So he said, that's wrong. I think race conscious police policies help to help Black Americans end up hurting them. Yes, I'm sorry, y'all. And evade addressing real issues like family and education. I won't apologize for the truth, but I'm open to have a conversation with an open mind, open to my invite to my podcast. And she accepted. And that's all it was. You know what I'm saying? That's all it was. It's a grift. She doesn't care. You just grifting. You're just a grifter. That's my response to her because I quote tweet you and I've asked you to debate me, but you've never written me back. But whoopsies, I don't have a platform like Vivek Ramaswamy. Nobody who I asked to debate me will come on and have a conversation with me. What is this? You know what I mean? What is it? If you're so sure about what you're saying, but whoopsies, I'm not famous yet. You know what I mean? Cool, whatever. Can't fight Dems version with Republican knife in my back. Nobody's doing nothing to Black people. They're doing it to themselves. And people trying to figure out why. Okay? Please. But you wanted to get on the show. You did a good job, though. I got to hand it to her. That was a good grift. I didn't even catch that. I shouldn't even have talked about you on this channel. What was that? Hey. I shouldn't even, but really. They talking about that. Mind you, abortion now has become, Black women faces are the face of abortion. All right. So before I go there, so let me try to get on my Gmail one last time because I need to respond to some of these people. And I was trying to do it where they would have been anonymous, but the pictures will not come up. I don't know why my phone is acting up. It won't send the pictures. I tried to send them. Yeah, it's just not, I don't understand. Yep, they won't come up. And so, oh well, too bad. Y'all shouldn't have said stupid things. Like, no, hold on. You know what I mean, so let me just go ahead and I'm gonna start with this. All right, we're about to wrap it up. But y'all, thank you for listening to me vent. And and the reason again why I'm so realistic with what I say, it's because the reason why I sound so harsh is because the truth does sound harsh. When I do see these kids in the prison, though, sometimes I do talk to them. I remember one of them, he was goofing off, and they were getting ready to send him to segregation. And I looked in his chart and he had a diagnosis of adjustment disorder. So society adjustment disorder, because they make diagnoses about, they love it too. By the way, that's why they keep them out there. It's all, if they only understood how much that they are part of the machine, they are cash dollars for the bureaucratic system. So they give them diagnoses for literally having bad behavior, not getting enough ass whoopings, excuse my French, straight up and down. That's what it is, right? Because if you did get enough ass whoopings, you wouldn't go out there and act that crazy. Like, I was a little bad, cutting class, stuff like that, but I wouldn't act too crazy. But my dad would have been like, well, I don't get out. Like, she's in jail, leave her there. So, and I told one time, I'm like, you ever heard of social adjustment disorder or something like that? And then he was like, no. And I was like, they say you have that. And he was like, what? I said, yeah, they say you have that. He was like, well, what is it? I said, they said that you can't conduct yourself in society. So they had to give you a diagnosis. They gave you a label. How did that make you feel? And he put his head down. I'm not saying I changed his life. I said, listen, God is real. If you get out of here, focus, you're worth it. Your life is worth it. Get yourself together. Get the hell away from here and get yourself together. Yeah, I talk to them. I talk to them in reality. I know some of them, they're hurting. They are hurting. I understand that there's a reason for a lot of this. But the problem is it starts at home. And so if we can't get it under control at home, once it spills over to the outside, it has to be reined in and, put away. It has to be, because society, you done left your doorstep with the book. And then maybe we could do some surveys and figure out how to catch the ones that are not committing the crimes yet and figure out how we keep them away from committing crimes. By the way, I've talked to cops, in this, I've talked to cops and they're like, they know who's committing most of the crimes. Oh, they're just not allowed to technically go get them or even prosecute them. Their hands are tied because of our Soros DA. And he is funded by George Soros. Larry Krasner certainly is. All right. Low check, black conservative. He has video on it. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, I'm sure he does. He speaks it real too. The Rodney King riots was crazy. Yeah, Rodney who. Yeah, those riots are terrible. I don't remember them as a kid, but I seen footage and I'm like, oh my God, there's no reason. The reason is no structure at home. No mothers or fathers that were raised. And it's true. It is true, because I've seen it even in the psych facility where, the adolescents, and then I got the mom coming in like, what y'all give my son? Yo, man, your son is in here for a reason. What is the problem? Why are you acting like that? Like, then it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Oh, right. But again, hey, if it spills out into society, now we have to we have to rein it in and put it away. There's nothing I can do. I got to save the ones that it didn't get to yet. Okay. But yeah, so let's go answer a couple things. So the media is the one mentioning white and black teen ambulance chasing fool. Ben Crump said the man hunted the kid. We all know the girl was non-white and especially black. It would have been totally different push. It would have. All right. So yeah, this is real quick. You know what I mean? Arthur asked the right question. So I'm definitely not coming at him. I did not know that this girl. Now, first of all, rest in peace to both of these people. And the little boy, like, that is a shame. He went to the wrong house and he got dropped. I don't use certain words sometimes on the lives, but the older man said that he was scared to death when he saw him show up at his door. That that doesn't make it right, but it is starting. It is a natural. Look, does it make it right? No, but people act based upon what they see. So that's another. It's not fair because I might have to pay for the crimes of somebody else, right? Come on, it's a reality, but it's not. He didn't deserve that. He didn't. Neither did she. But the point that I was making was, let's keep it real. There's a media bias. I did not hear about this girl. I didn't hear about this girl. It was scary being around the Baltimore riot. You see what I'm saying? It is, I didn't hear about this girl. Like we cannot say it's like, oh, it's not about race. It is because the media wants to keep us divided by race anyway. So that's why they're not going to tell you. See, if they would have wanted to have a conversation about police, they would have told you about how many white guys get shot by cops unarmed too. No, it was just a black thing. But they use the black back though to catapult every disgusting communistic legislation that they want, and black people clap for it. They clap for their own demise. Yeah, we're gonna let the criminals out. Yeah, we at the church. Yeah, praise God. Yes, Father God. Yes, yes, yes. And then the criminals come out. What they do? I can't go now. I gotta go in the house. Okay. All right, back to the somebody got mad at me. What's new? Because I made this comment. Hold on. I was told to delete. Oh yeah, hold on a second. People get mad at me because I'm not scared of white people. That's the only explanation for it. Yes, I'm gonna say it just like that. Hold on. I'm almost there, y'all. Okay, I was told to delete this now, and I'm gonna come back to my first statement. I said I have to keep hearing how Christian nationalists are dangerous or horrible. Yeah, I see images like this. Where I meant to put, where are they then? If this is going on, that's because the concept doesn't exist. So that was the point that I was making. I was like, yeah, Christian nationalists, like they're supposed to be real, but yeah, all kinds of things are happening in the church. Wouldn't they be out here acting a fool, scaring up the place? Who are the Christian nationalists? They don't exist. It's a term the media used to put behind Christian to scare Christian people of Christians, and sadly it works. So then I was told to delete this. So now I said, show me where the Christian nationalists are terrorizing the community. Show me who they are. Where's the evidence of this group? And so I don't know what that is. So this girl says that some racism isn't real because black and white toddlers held hands logic. Woof. So I said, trust me, I wouldn't dare take your precious racism from you, okay? Because we know some of y'all would not exist without racism. Yes, that's how I feel. It has become your personality because y'all flock to the word, Listen, I don't know this person, but I'm just saying. It's like, oh, you saying racism isn't real. No, that's different. I know. I've seen evidence of racism. I know it's real. I just don't have to. Why did you bring up racism anyway? Like, I'm confused as to why that even got brought up. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Broken Traditions. They live rent free in their heads. They do. So, and then so of course, there's more to it. Because what? Everybody's mad at me about this. I didn't even see these or whatever. She said she wouldn't go to this church, or people mad because I don't like the church. It's a drag queen in the church, dog. Like, what? All right, hold on. But there's more, because this gentleman guy, he came out of nowhere. So I thought he said, you sound like you like white people or something. So I did go off. I was like, I do like white people. So then everyone's like, oh, calm down. They calm me down, whatever. I did go off. And then she said, Haitian, same difference. I said, cool, I'd rather be white. because whatever, like, 'cause she's saying same to her, she's not black, she's Haitian. So I'm like, well, I'd rather be white then. If you're saying it that, I don't want to be black. I'm totally trolling, like, because I don't believe some people think because I'm Haitian, I'm not black. It's the weirdest thing because I guess they never had, you know what I mean, Irish white people or Scottish, British, none of that. But when it comes to black, it's only one black. Weird. Anyway, and then he goes off and he says, this, I'm going to come to a reason. I said, he said, that makes sense. She definitely believes in whitewash history. Damn. You don't even know me, Jack. Like, for real. So I said, nah, this is when I went off about I like white people. Anyway, I said, nah, I'm just not scared of a ghost that doesn't exist. My life doesn't revolve around the fear of white or white people supreme. So yeah, I sound different because you don't understand. I sound different because you don't understand it. I don't have a personality disorder, and I only fear God. Like, yeah, I don't have a sick codependency with white people, And so it goes on, and sometimes hold on. And then he put woman, why you worked up so much? Oh yeah, because this is when I said, why does it bother you? And I quote tweeted. So why does it bother you widows so much that I'm not ruled by white supremacy? I don't have a sick codependency to white people that makes you mad. All right, so then and this I'm telling you all this for a reason. I'm gonna wrap it up. And then he said, why though? No. And then so they asked about well, how do you feel about the white man who shot the black teen? And I was like, yeah, there's bad people everywhere, and that's terrible what happened to him. I'm still not scared of white people. Like, I'm not. So now hold on. I was going off about a few things the other day. Hold on. Young black children have been told, I didn't even see this. Young black children have been told they don't have to have any, self-responsibility. Yeah, that's not, they're being programmed to think that whatever they want to do in 2023 is essentially justified because of the history. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. They're telling them that in school and stuff. That's true. The parent, like, come on. And this is, again, we provide your own not alls. We know it's not all of them, but some of them are listening to this and they're causing enough havoc. They cause havoc for the ones that don't cause the havoc, right? Okay, so this is when I keep saying because it's so annoying because this guy dropped off like a whole bunch of he put of course you're not the affected one. And so I said, yeah, I'm not, because I live a great life in the name of God. Yes, there are ups and downs, but I'm blessed. So why should I be mad if someone doesn't like me because of my skin color? They don't have to like me. My life is ruled by God and not the emotions of people, and so then he said, and that's your privilege. Not everyone has it. So either choose to help or don't further make them feel helpless if you don't wish to help. And don't misread and twist what I said. Your conscience very well knows it. Stop behaving like caste Hindu. And so I was still writing, and I was like, the freeing feeling of the Lord. Once you focus on the kingdom, I think I was saying, hold on. Okay. So I said, Prudy, I'm behaving like a Christian. The problem is not too many behave this way. That's why you don't understand it. If people choose to box themselves up in 2023 with all these opportunities out here, that's their choice. I do help by speaking to people I meet about the freeing feeling of the Lord. Once you focus on the kingdom of righteousness, everything else makes sense. Of course, there will be struggles, but you handle them differently and you find your strength and confidence to live to your full potential. We are sinners saved by God. Yes, I'm not saying this is like a magic trick, like, oh, everything is perfect now. Of course, I have my own issues, of course, but it's how you deal. Life is going to happen anyway, right? So, and then he says, I'm referring to the, so all right, so now I think like this is everything, and this is what I want to reply to because I was at work when this happened. I'm referring to the individualistic thinking where you forget the society. Just because you have are not have are not marginalized doesn't mean others are not. Others don't have the same experiences as yourself. I do see your optimistic view where you do not think about others. My God, it is good to an extent, but please do remember that everyone has this. Not everyone has the same resources and strength that you were able to fight the things you did. No, I'm not dismissing your experiences or how you have gone through certain things. That's commendable and I respect it. Society doesn't work by individualistic thinking. Sorry, that's I'm because I'm getting tired. I'm sure you understand that I can think to myself that I'm no longer a Dalit, but not so with the caste Hindu. He still treats me like a Dalit, even when I have different religious convictions. Even if I follow Jesus, and he says, your solution is right and admirable, but it's only applicable to an individualistic level because the language barrier I'm not able to articulate clearly. You're doing fine, but people when they are in a group whole function differently. They don't think individually. People together function differently. Okay, oppressive systems function differently. We cannot fight them with individualistic ideology because oppressive systems have usually formed a group, not just individuals. Yeah, that's how the Marxism works. So this is where the problem arises: understanding each other, applying that the individualistic thing. It is a particular thing that I'm looking for. And he says it's not right to most of my people are deprived of education. They can't speak English and they cannot even write their own language. Yes, we have those who overcame those consequences, but they shouldn't shame them by saying I was able to overcome. Why are they still playing victim? It's not right to do that. You're wiser than me. I hope you understand. I do understand, but there's a particular thing that he said that I wanted y'all to see, and why I just no disrespect to him, is he's not disrespecting me, and I get it when you've been through a lot of stuff. And here we go. You cannot fix this problem just by believing in Jesus. They don't arise because people didn't believe in Jesus. I can show you Christians who boast that they are Brahmins and think Abraham was a Brahmin and mistreated us. All right. So what you just explained to me now, I don't deny that there are things that have happened around the world that I can't account for, that I don't know. I'm mostly talking about America. Believe me, because I've visited Haiti, I've seen the real struggle. So when I talk, I'm really talking about here, because in other countries, you're right. They are struggling. There's a lot more struggles in other countries. But I'm talking about this country. But let me just say this. I can't tell. Listen, I'm not trying to sound hypocritical or mean, but you're still alive, right? Okay, so the person struggling, they're still alive, right? It's how you take in the struggle. And I know how that sounds. But I'm going to leave that alone because I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know who I would be. I would have to call on God harder every 10 seconds. I went to visit Haiti and I said, boy, I would have to have like all the faith, clinging close to God if I had to live like this. This is crazy. It is. And it does make me feel bad to see. And I can't answer for all of that. But that's the thing. I can't answer for all of that. But when I come back here in America, and this is what I'm talking about here, we have Black folk who are still calling themselves oppressed based on something that happened in the past that is not happening today. And they have opportunities here. That's why I say I'm blessed. When I say I'm blessed, I mean I'm humbly blessed. I thank God for the fact that I live here, because there was a time where I hated the American flag, when I was far to the left, cultural left. And I was like, oh God, the American flag, what they did to my people, all that kind of talk, right? There was a time where I was like that. And then I, grew up. And then when I went to go visit other places, and when I went back home, I love being Haitian. I do. But what I saw at home, I was like, I can't come back here. I was like, I can't go back to, the country of my parents. I can't, because there's too much going on, and my money is not going to the people. It's going to the bureaucrats. It's going to the senators and all that. So I don't want to give them my touristic money. But that woke me up where I could just come home and turn my lights on. You know how many lights on I have right now just to do this live? You know, can you imagine? Haiti, they wait 30 years. 30 days. Sometimes they go without electricity because the government didn't give them electricity. So I hear you on that end. So this is why when I'm here in America, though, you know, I say, hey, people, like, are you paying attention? You're fighting a ghost that's not here. You're destroying your lives, erasing each other, okay? And then saying, you know, that this is such a horrible place to live, but you ain't been through real struggle, you know? So that's where my conversation, this is how I talk. This is why I say the stuff that I say. I've seen real struggle. And I don't like it is a lot to see. So I get you on that. But also, Prudy, you know, it's a shame when I say believe in God, I don't say believe in people. I say believe in God. Because people mess stuff up all the time. All the time. You know what I mean? You can't trust nobody. For real. I know bad nurses. There's bad nurses, there's bad cops, there's bad doctors, there's bad preachers. I just showed you one walking around with a coffin, you know, with a child's coffin. Al Sharpton calls himself a reverend. You know, he's the biggest crook out here. This is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like this is what I mean. So when it comes to Christianity, you have too many corrupt Christians. So that's why it is looked at the way it is. So that's why people say my faith can't allow this to happen. I don't have enough faith. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lie. God's not going to do. Yeah, because you see corrupt people. You think this is Christianity. No, the Bible, that's where the Christianity is. That's where it is. It's not people, because people will fail all the time. They will let you down. Some of them, they do the best they can, but we're all human. We're all sinners. So that's where, you know, and to be candid, like when I say I have a good life, you know, I'm not married yet. I don't have children yet. Sometimes that scares me. I've been brought to tears about that a few times. I've had female operations that had me wondering, can I have children? I've been in full on tears because of that before, you know, and it's only through my faith, reading the Bible, actually reading the Bible, you know, not just singing and hemming and hawing, you know, reading the Bible, praying, doing Bible studies, realizing that there's stories of overcoming certain fears and understanding that, you know, while that is something that I'm having, like that's my struggle. It's a struggle that keeps me close to God, because then I won't lose my mind. And then in the meantime, I can also be trying to live my life to the full potential, because what if I do leave this earth and I don't have kids? Well, then I spent the time either crying about it, or I did the best I could do. I did something that mattered out here, you know? And that's damn. Hello. I know. But what was that? Like Mike. Can y'all hear me now? Y'all should be able to hear me, because I can hear myself. I got to get a new mic. All right. Yeah, no. And it's not just that dating is thank you guys, that dating is a nightmare. It's just like there was a time where I thought I was gonna get married and it didn't work out. And again, it's all good, you know, it's all good. Like, and I'm not saying that for any kind of pity or anything like that. God is good. It's not going to stay like this forever. But the point that I'm making is, while I'm like this, I can either wallow in my sadness, you know, like I could just be sad all day, like, or I can try as best as I can to live to my full potential. And my purpose in life is to spread messages like this. That is my purpose in life, you know? I know I was like, yeah, no. Boop. Like, I got to you might. I was all animated. The devil was like, hit the mic. No. But just crazy, right? But yeah, that's the point that I'm making. Now, not done yet. So, you know, because people busting on you about it, right? So, we all can be, I said something about that everybody got prejudices. It says we all can be prejudiced, but there's only only the majority group can be racist. They can materially impact others, and in America, that's white people. Faith in God doesn't change that reality, nor does pretending it's not real. The data says otherwise. But then the data is your God. That's all I can say is the data is your God, because hold on. White people are your God. I have to say it like that to you. I do. I got to say it to you in a way where it will resonate. White people are your God. The data is your God. All of it. It is your God. And that's your choice, because you are living in America in 2023. All right. Not in, first of all, Black folk were doing amazing things when they came out of slavery. Oh my God. Right. So if they could do it back then, it could be done today. And by the way, with that individualistic thinking, you know, if we thought a little bit more as individuals and changed the man in the mirror, like Michael Jackson said, if everybody really sat down and was like, I'm looking at the man in the mirror and I'm going to make that change, and everybody really made that change, instantly society would be better. It would be. But people don't do that because they're always trying to pull each other up while they're so jacked up themselves, they can't even pull themselves up, right? Because they haven't sat down and done the real hard work, had some real self-accountability. Here, you say, excuse me, I know people bring up redlining and all that. Okay. I know it happened. It's a shame it happened. Quite terrible. Is it happening now? Can you get a house now? Is it that your credit isn't good enough to get the house, or is it that they're redlining you? We have to have self-accountability. Not everything is somebody else. Yeah, even myself. Sometimes I'm like, oh, the devil got me today because, I was upset about XYZ. And it's like, maybe it wasn't the devil. maybe you should have been more responsible about, ZYX. I've had to say that to myself, right? And yeah, the growth, it hurts. It does, But this still thinking of oppression and white man around the corner going to get me. I'm sorry, sir. That's not who's getting you right now. It's not. It simply isn't. Furthermore, I want to show you guys just this real quick. Polls shows hiring managers discriminating against white men. This is happening. It must be all that white privilege going around this country, but a recent survey showed that 1 in 6 hiring managers were asked not to hire white males. Yes, that's the truth. That is. Because I know white men who said that their bosses made certain comments like, it's a little too white in here. Next thing they knew, they were out of a job. That's straightforward, though. That's straightforward. So, sir, if you feel like, if you feel like the data is proving that God doesn't, I don't know what you're trying to say, well, then that's your right. I can't stop you, but I got to tell you, you have an opportunity. You have your life today. You're answering for a bunch of other people, and you don't know their story today or why something's not working out for them. But this is America right now, still in a free market society, still. And while you not, you can still, like, if you got a talent, you can still LLC it. You don't have to talk to a senator. In Haiti, before you open up a store, you have to talk to a senator first. You know what I mean? Like, you could do really whatever you want here, you can. There's so much potential here. You can use that Pell Grant to go learn how to drive trucks. Boom. It can be done. It can be done. But if it's constantly, yeah, but the white man going to get me. Well, that is, you know what I mean? The fictional white man, he's already got you then. He's already got you. He has. But I don't, I really wish you didn't think like that, because it's so freeing. I'm not saying that bad things don't happen. I'm not saying that I haven't been through discriminatory practices. Yeah, but what was I going to do? Still be mad about it today and be like, I'm not even going to try because, they got me at the last place, so I'm not going to do it here. It happens. It happens, right? Now we have it, though, that it is being written in legislation. California has been told you need to diversify your, Hollywood needs to diversify itself and come up with a plan of action in order to get the tax cuts. That is actual legislation being written against white people. You know, something that was fought for, you know, Civil Rights Act and all that. We're not supposed to be doing things like that. So that's what's happening in 2023. Right now, they will give you would definitely get an opportunity for being a black man. Affirmative action is still here. I don't personally like it. I don't want to know that I was hired just because I was black. Danny, what's his name? Danny Glover. He said he found out that he was a diversity hire for a third. Was it not 30 Rock? It was for one of them shows with Tina Fey. And she told him, she was like, yeah, they, you know what I mean? It was between you and another black person, but we had to get a black person in here. So then he, you know, imposter syndrome, and should I really be here? You know? But hey, that was an opportunity, right? I mean, because it seems like that's what you want. So this country makes those kind of opportunities. I'm sorry, you can't force me to think that I'm living in the most racist country in the world. I'm not, especially when I've seen real struggle in other countries. Real struggle. So all I can do here is say, pay attention to the resources that have been given to you. But even better, don't let the data be a god. If you saying my faith can't, like, I don't know what to tell. Like, that's, do you believe in yourself? You know, I mean, so there's somebody out here that's always going to keep you down. That's a sin. You effectively say that person is stronger than God. So then they become your God. So you got to marinate on that. You do. So this conversation today went and turned into like a lot of different things. You know, at first I was like, I'm not going to even go live because I don't feel like it. But then I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and vent and say everything that I had to say, because this weekend people have been acting up. Listen, the reality is the reality. All right. And every time somebody says something, makes an assessment, even if, yes, Matt Walsh did jump to conclusions, fine. That is his natural feeling. He would have jumped to those conclusions. Sorry. I would have jumped to them too. That doesn't make him racist for doing it. Doesn't. I'm sorry. It doesn't. How many times? Like, come on. Yeah. So, you know, we need to, you know, I don't know. All I'm telling you is that how natural things act. And he didn't say all black people act like this. So provide your own, not alls. Not everything. Listen, last story I'm gonna tell. I remember, this is the same thing what leftists do. I remember my boss, and she was such a smart black woman. So smart. And she said, yeah, because Trump racist. And I said, well, why is he racist? God damn, I hit the thing again. Ooh, my mom. All right, yeah, all right, cool. Y'all can hear me. And so, thank you, Sarah. Thank you for coming through. I'm wrapping up anyway. Yeah. So, like, she was like, well, "Yeah, Trump racist." And I said, "Well, tell me what he said. You know, this was way long time ago." She said, "Well, he wrote a bill, and he said, well, people in suburban people, you know, I said that Section 8 can't come to the suburbs, so I'm keeping the riffraff out." And I was like, okay, that sounds like a good bill. We know who he was talking about. Yeah, the riffraff. He was talking about us. You see how you see yourself? I was like, oh no. I was like, no, yeah. I was like, I don't connect to riffraff. I'm like, if I work hard to buy a house and everything, yeah, I want all the riffraff. I don't care what color it is. I don't want the riffraff here. Okay. I said, that's the bad thing. But do you see? Provide your own, not alls. Like, thank you, Josh. Again, thank you, Josh Slocum, for this line. Because why do you think automatically, yeah, he was talking to black people? You think of yourself as riffraff? Okay. All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming through. I'm going to see what I could parse through here and actually put the clips out. I never do that. You know, I never do. You guys, this live was so amazing. Oh my gosh. Thank you. The chat was so awesome. The next step of the Substack will be coming out. I'm locking up some stuff with work, making sure that I have, you know, a new contract going on. Once I'm cool with that, I have the other Substack coming, because we're going to need that. Actually, I dropped a video talking about the war. Things are escalating with China. You know what I mean? So we have to be prepared. So, Trump silently donates millions to black charities, and listen, they didn't care, child. They said he's racist. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off. You guys, it's always a great time hanging out with y'all. I see you guys at the next one. Bye.